During my school years, when I was 14, one of my female classmates had an accident and was bound to a wheelchair for about 3/4 of a year. I didn't have much contact with her at the time, as I had just come out of the girls are you phase, but I knew she was one of those rare people, pure-hearted and kind to everyone. On the first day she returned to school in a wheelchair, I saw her struggling to get around. She was also very petite, and I could tell she wouldn't be able to reach the next classroom in time. I was the last person at the end of the corridor, and something in me just knew I had to help. I walked up to her and asked if she'd allow me to assist her. I didn't know it then, but that moment would turn into me, helping her get around school every day, sometimes even carrying her, since our school wasn't accessible at all. As time went on, we got to know each other better, and the time between classes became our time. She wasn't allowed to leave the classroom during breaks, which made me sad, so I came up with a plan to stay with her. I've always been good at math and logic, and I had qualified for some academic contests, so I told the teachers I wanted to use break time to prepare for them. They agreed, and of course, I didn't use that time to study at all. I just talked with her. Those were probably the happiest days I ever had in school. But like all things, it came to an end. I was really happy for her when she started walking on her own again, but at the same time, I felt a deep sadness I couldn't explain. Later, I realized that her being in a wheelchair had become our excuse to be together. And now, that excuse was gone, without us ever officially calling it a friendship or anything more. That limbo went on for 2 or 3 weeks, until one day her friends came up to me and said, "You have to do something." Apparently, she couldn't stop talking about me, and they were getting sick of hearing how great I was. That's when it hit me. I had fallen in love for the first time. I got nervous and tried to come up with a plan for a week or two, but eventually, I decided to just go talk to her. Summer break was coming, and I didn't want to wait. But the day I decided to approach her, she didn't come to school, nor the next day, or the one after that. I asked her friends, and they looked surprised. They thought she'd told me. Her dad had gotten a better-paying job in a neighboring country, and she had been let out of school early to prepare for the move. I asked them for her address, and after school I went there. I stopped a house before hers when I saw her standing outside next to her family's car while her parents loaded boxes. She saw me and walked over. We talked for a bit about the move. At some point I told her I had something important to say, but she just shook her head, tears welling up in her eyes. She asked me not to say it. It would only hurt more. Then she hugged me tightly. Her mom called her name. She looked me in the eyes, said, "Thank you for your kindness," and we said our final goodbye. I watched her get into the car and drive off. I remember standing there for what felt like an eternity, staring down the street until the sun began to set. I never saw her again. Sometimes I still wonder if she ever thinks back to those days like I do.